Good afternoon, children. We have completed lesson number 10 and now today we will start lesson number 11. And that lesson number 11 is our solar system. Children, you must be knowing the meaning of solar. This solar word has been taken from the word sun. And solar system means sun and the 8 planets. We all live on which planet? Yes, of course, we live on Earth. And our Earth is one of the 8 known planets and is a member of a large family in space. Which 8 planets are there? One mnemonic is there through which you can easily remember the names of 8 planets. My very educated mother just served us noodles or nuts. Which sentence you can remember? My, M for Mercury, very, V for Venus, educated, E for Earth, mother, M for Mars, just, J for Jupiter, served, S for Saturn, us, U for Uranus, nuts, N for Neptune. These are 8 planets of our solar system. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. And how you can remember the names of it? With this sentence. My very educated mother just served us nuts. So children, we have seen that our Earth's position is third. It is one of the 8 known planets and it is a member of a large family in space. The sun is the most important member of this family. Why? Because all the 8 planets have been originated from sun only, and sun is a star. This family of sun and its 8 planets constitute solar system. So in this lesson we will read one by one about the sun and all the 8 planets. First we will read about the sun. Children, recently we have celebrated Chhat Puja. In Chhat Puja, which god is being worshipped? Yes, sun god. We cannot see the other gods, but the sun god we can see. Just imagine if sun is not there for any single day, then complete darkness will be there. And there will be, if sun will not be there, then there will be no life on earth, because sun is very essential for our survival. The sun is the central part of the solar system. From it only all the 8 planets have evolved. It is a huge sphere of very hot gases. It is a big ball of hot gases. Nowadays winter season is going on. You just sit under sunlight. Then your body will get warmth because there is a heat in sunlight. We can think of it as a ball of fire. It produces light of its own. We all know sun is a star. It is the nearest star to us. That's why we can see sun. Other stars are very small. We cannot see them. They are very far away from earth, and that's why they look very small to us. And sun is a star, so it produces light of its own. It is thus a luminous body which gives us light. It is also very large and massive as compared to all the planets. Sun is very huge as compared to all the 8 planets. It appears small to us. Why? Because it's very large distance from the earth, although it is nearest star to earth. Other stars are only we see them only in a twinkling position or in a small dot because they are very far away from us. Sun also appears small to us due to its very large distance from the earth. The sun is a source of huge energy. It gives us energy. It gives us heat. It gives us light. It gives out energy in the form of heat and light. We call the energy received from the sun as solar energy. At many places you must have seen solar energy is being produced. Solar cookers, solar geysers, then solar calculators also you must have used. So the energy which we get from sun is known as solar energy. The earth receives almost all of its energy from the sun. And the sun is essential for growth and maintenance of all forms of life on the earth. Without sun, there will be no life on the earth. All living beings, whether plants, animals or we human beings, we living beings are dependent on the sun. For what? For our food. We all the animals and human beings are directly or indirectly dependent on plants for our food, and plants are dependent on sun for the receiving light, because without sun plants cannot do the process of photosynthesis. We all know, you have read about photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? The process through which plants make their own food. And plants make their own food with the help of what? Sun, water and air. In the previous lesson we have read, carbon dioxide gas is being used by the plants in the process of photosynthesis. And plants use sunlight also in this process. Plants make their food in the presence of sunlight, and all other animals get their food directly or indirectly from plants. It means we all are dependent on sunlight for our food. We use solar energy in many ways. In which ways we use solar energy? Solar cookers, solar geysers are used for cooking food and getting hot water in our homes. We also have solar cells. Cells means, you must be knowing children, batteries that work through which energy? Solar energy. These are used in devices like the calculators and wristwatches. They are also used in man-made satellites and space vehicles. They also provide electricity in many remote areas. The areas which are not so developed, in those areas they provide electricity. Herein, do you know, you see it is written, the sun being so essential for evolution and propagation of life on the earth has been worshipped as a god. As I told you recently in Chhat Puja, you must have seen people worship which god? Sun god. Why? Because sun is so essential for evolution, development and propagation of life, sustenance of life on the earth. And that's why it has been worshipped as a god by almost all the ancient civilization. And the Hindu mythology speaks of sun as which god? Surya Dev. So you understood about sun? Now we will read about the planets. I have told you how many planets are there in solar system? 8 planets. Planets are almost spherical celestial bodies which move around the sun. All the planets have two movements, rotation and revolution. Rotation means what? all the planets move on its own axis, that is rotation. Earth moves on its own axis in how much time? 24 hours. And that causes what? Days and night on the earth. Then revolution. All the planets revolve around the sun on a fixed path. That is known as revolution. And sun completes one revolution Earth completes one revolution in how many days? 365 days and 6 hours. That is known as a year. Each planet revolves around the sun in a definite path, and this path is nearly circular in shape. The shape is almost like circle, and that shape, that fixed path is known as the orbit of the planet. Orbit means the fixed path on which we revolve. Planets do not have light of their own. All the planets, they don't have light. They have two movements, but they do not have light. And the stars have no movements, but they have light. Their observed brightness is only due to the sunlight reflected by them. Light is during daytime. Everywhere light is there. That light we get from where? From sun. Here again you see, do you know, it is written about astronomer Johannes Kepler. He was a German and he was born in the year 1571 and died in 1630. He found that orbits of planets were not exactly circles as considered by Aristotle and Copernicus. Aristotle and Copernicus told that the fixed path of the planets around which the planets revolve around on which the planets revolve around the sun are circular. But Johannes Kepler found, he was a German, that it is not exactly circular, but were more like flattened eggs. Egg you must have seen, oval shape, that is. Such flattened egg-like shapes are referred to as ellipses. It is not circular, ellipses. Ellipses means the shape is like egg, flattened egg. According to Kepler, the path of a planet around the sun, that is its orbit, is elliptical in shape. Which type of shape is there? Elliptical. It is not exactly circular, with the sun at its focus. Here in this diagram you can see all sun is also there. All the 8 planets are there: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. And here you see the fixed path has been given. That path is not exactly circular in shape, but that path is elliptical in shape, like oval shape. How many planets are in our solar system? Yes, 8 planets. And all these planets are at different distance from the sun. The planets of the solar system in increasing order of their distance from the sun are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. And how you will remember these names? You just take the first letter of these planets. My very educated mother just served us nuts. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Your today's homework is, children, you have to draw this diagram of solar system. Where you will draw? In your science notebook. How you will draw? Like sun you will draw, like in this picture. Then around sun, all the 8 planets, and this orbit also you have to draw. You color it, draw it, color it, and then submit it on our WhatsApp group. And where you will draw it? in your science notebook. Now we will see about all the planets. One by one we will read about the planets. First planet is Mercury. In Hindi it is known as Buddha. And this planet Mercury is the closest to the sun. It is the first planet, so it is closest to the sun. It is a dry, hot and almost airless planet. There is no air on this planet, and we have read in previous lesson that without air we cannot survive, so there is no life on Mercury. It is also the smallest planet. Which planet is the smallest planet? Mercury. Unlike the earth, there is no atmosphere. On earth, in previous lesson we have read, atmosphere is there, that's why life is possible only here. And in atmosphere, which gases we have read in previous lesson? Nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, and in another 1% various types of other gases are there. The light and heat of the sun therefore each reach the side of Mercury facing the sun directly. This side becomes very hot, and the other side where the light doesn't reach, that remains comparatively cold of Mercury. Now the next planet nearest to the sun is, second planet is Venus. Venus in Hindi it is known as Shukra. Its size is nearly the same as that of the earth. It receives a much large amount of heat and light from the sun as compared to the earth. And Venus has a very thick atmosphere. That's why it is the hottest planet in our solar system. It has a very thick atmosphere. This reflects back a large amount of solar energy that falls on it. And Venus is therefore the brightest object seen in the sky after the sun and moon. Why Venus is brightest object seen in the sky after the sun and the moon? Because it has a very thick atmosphere and it reflects a large amount of solar energy that falls on it, and due to that reflection only, it is the brightest object seen in the sky after sun and moon. Its thick atmosphere also traps a large amount of the solar energy reaching its surface, and because of this trapping, it is the hottest of all the planets. Although Mercury is the nearest planet, but then also due to its rich thick atmosphere, Venus is the hottest planet of all the planets, hotter than even Mercury, the planet that is closest to the sun. So, if the question comes, which planet is the hottest planet? What you will write? Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system. Why Venus is the hottest planet? Because it has a very thick atmosphere. Do you know, you see it is written, the time taken by a planet to complete one revolution is called its time period of revolution or its year. What is the year time period of planet Earth? Earth revolves around the sun in how many days? In 365 days and 6 hours. But for our convenience, we have taken only 365 days in a year. And that extra 6 hours becomes, after every 4 years, it becomes 24 hours. 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, 24 hours. 24 hours means one extra day. That extra day is being added in the month of February. And that year has 366 days, and the year having 366 days is known as leap year. And in leap year, February has 29 days. You must have understood why leap year is there after every 4 years. Because Earth revolves around the Sun in 365 days and 6 hours. But for our convenience, we have taken only 365 days in a year, and that extra 6 hours become 24 hours after every 4 years. 24 hours means one extra day, and that one extra day is being added in the month of February, and in that year, the year has 366 days. The time period of revolution increases as the distance of planet from the sun increases, because orbit becomes larger, bigger. So the time period also increases. Planets do not collide. Collide means what? Takrana among themselves with the sun. This is because planets are in constant motion around the sun and move in the same direction in orbits that are widely far apart. So children, we have read about these two planets, Mercury and Venus, and the sun. About other planets in our next class we will read. And your homework, I have already told you what you have to do in your homework. You have to draw this solar system. You will draw sun also, then you will draw 8 planets. You have to draw the orbits also. Where you will draw? In your science notebook. Where you will submit your homework? On our WhatsApp group. So that's all for today. Goodbye and thank you.